Welcome back to another episode on the See Through It podcast. I am your host, Brian Sales. How you guys doing tonight? It is Wednesday, January, what is it? I don't even know what date this is. But we are moving right along into this new year, 2020. And it has been a crazy start to the year already of 2020. So, before we get into, as you see it there, the topic for tonight, season 2, episode 35, show of force. Before we get into it, let's go ahead and run through our little promo and let's go ahead and talk about our promo. So YouTube, as you see it there, please subscribe to the channel if you are watching on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, please go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/STIPODCAST. Give it a like, a share, join the conversation there. Also, if you're on Instagram, if you like to do the Instagram thing, please follow me on Instagram at SeeThroughIt_podcast. Contact me through email, also SeeThroughIt@gmail.com. If you'd like to donate to the show, greatly appreciate it. PayPal.me/SeeThroughIt. We greatly appreciate that. Any type of donations. If not, that is fine too. So we are done with the promo. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you. Today's show, as you see it there, show of force. What a not a rocky start, but a crazy start to the year we have already seen. This past week has been something very crazy with the stuff that I've seen and heard, and how people are trying to justify things, and it's crazy. It was maddening. It had me upset. I had to stay off Facebook and Twitter and any other things that I was on because it was angering me. I had to, me for one, I know for myself, I'm not talking about anyone else, but I have I don't want to say an anger problem, but I get very angry, especially when it comes to my brothers and sisters in the military. The stuff that I was seeing and reading, and I didn't understand that it was Americans that were spewing the nonsense that they were spewing without even thinking about what they were saying, or just running off emotions. And I mean, I have to be honest. I was very emotional. When I saw everything that was taking place on Facebook and Twitter and in the news, the world of news and everything. So everything that kicked it off, the assassination or the killing of that general, which needed to be done. Ever since President Trump removed the troops from Iraq and was talking about bringing everyone home, there was a lack of show of force. There was a lack of deterrence. There was a lack that the American troops were being pulled out. So things started happening. Militias started growing. More attacks started happening. More protests. All this stuff started to take place. Meanwhile, people were dying at the hands of this general who was inciting all of this nonsense. So, after the government and Democrats and bureaucrats told Trump not to pull him out, he pulled him out anyway. He pulled him out, and they said he should have never pulled him out. So now we fast forward. We're here now. He pulled him out. He saw the repercussions of him pulling his troops out, and he had to take that guy out. He had to be taken out. And then to see the reaction from the folks here in America apologizing to the Iranian people, apologizing to the people of Iran, because the hatred for this man is so deep, is so unreal, that they would say, I am sorry, Iran. I'm sorry for killing your general. First and foremost, they attacked a U.S. embassy. That's an act of war. It doesn't matter if they threw a rock, set a bush on fire. It does not matter. They attacked a U.S. embassy and killed a U.S. contractor. I've seen some people try to say that, what about the guy that died in North Korea or someone else? I get that. I mean, I understand. It sucks. It sucks. But it's different. It's different. They went to those places on their own. This was a U.S. contractor protecting a U.S. embassy. You can't do that. And to see that people were apologizing, those people should be ashamed of themselves. What about the troops or the family members of the troops that died at the hands of the makers of IEDs? The IEDs came from Iran. That general drew up the whole layout, the plans, and everything. They created that in Iran and sent that to Iraq. And a lot of soldiers died. What happened to the apologies to those family members that lost loved ones at the hand of that general? Do we hate him that much that we are willing to side with another country? I heard someone else mention global crisis. I can care less. I'm just being honest. I can care less. There's a lot of stuff going on in America. I don't really care about what the rest of the world is going on, what's going on with the rest of the world. I don't care how this makes the rest of the world feels. They were attacking our soldiers. They attacked our embassy. Everything in me, I wanted to. It was hard. Everything in me, I wanted to get back in. I wanted to go and be overseas. I wanted to get back into the fight. And then I'm looking at all this stuff like, I want to get into the fight, and these people are apologizing to another country for what we did to their general. For the people that don't understand or didn't even bother to Google who he is or what he was, he was in charge of the Quds. I believe I said that right. Quds Force, which is a terrorist group. They ran Iran. I've researched General Petraeus. He did an interview, and he said that while he was on the ground in Iraq, that the general never stepped a foot in Iraq. But he told them if they wanted to do business or if they wanted to work out some type of deal, that they had to come through him. They had to come through the general. Him. He's the one that makes things happen. I don't get how we got here. I don't get how we have gotten to this place where we are filled with so much hate that we look at another country and we say, you know what? We're sorry. We're sorry. We don't accept the actions of this president who's trying to protect us, who's trying to show a response to your general who's attacking our people. We don't accept his actions. I don't see how any of that makes sense. Do you people not understand that if Iran was to ever, if they were ever able to use a missile to hit America, that the missile's not going to be like, you know what, that house put out a meme that said it's not affiliated with America. They're affiliated, so let's blow them up. That missile's not going to do that. You are in America. Whether you like it or not, you are in America. If it's so bad, you can move, you can leave if it's that bad. It makes me angry that I even had to read people apologizing to the Iranian government when we are the ones that lost soldiers, civilians, at the hands of this Petraeus general. Like, how does that make sense? How do you sit there and type on Facebook with your phone or computer or whatever and think that's okay? I felt that I felt that same way, Papa. I felt the same way. Let me move this over here. I felt the same way. Papa says we should make an example of Iran. You know, I mean, is he right? Is he wrong? I don't. Do we want a war? It's not going to be a war. But do more people need to die? No. But is there a need for an example? I think so. But I guess time will tell. I mean, the Iranian government came out and said they're done with their retaliation. They're done with their retaliation. They didn't want a war. Basically, what they had to show, hey, it's not cool that you killed one of our guys, one of our top generals. It's not okay. We're not going to stand for it. We don't care how evil he was. We're not going to stand for it. So, missile, take that. All right. They know the power of America. And it's sad that so many Americans sat there and was whining and crying. No, we don't. Is it over? World War III? Are we all going to die? Like, you have no faith in the people that are out there sacrificing their lives to protect this country. Everyone wanted to spin it about, oh, it's about oil. Well, if it was about oil, we would have destroyed Iran already. We wouldn't need to take out the general. We would have hit Iran. Do we not remember Iraq? It was about the oil that they found in November. It was about that. Americans want that oil. I doubt it. Again, because if we wanted it, we would have took it already. I mean, they hit our base. That's enough to get bombers in the air and flatten that whole country. No, the message was stop playing around. Stop attacking our embassy. Stop sending your militias and your terrorist groups and blah, 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 whoever else into Iraq to mess up what we just built here. Stop doing that. We're not playing. That's the message. That's what the message was. You see all these Hollywood people and music artists run their mouths and people follow and listen to them blindly. Again, the show is See Through It, right? You don't have to see my point or agree with what I'm saying, should I say. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying. But the point of the show is to help you make your own judgment on what's going on, not listening to CNN. It's embarrassing that MSNBC took a report that said 80 casualties or 35 casualties at the base. The president stood up there and said there was no casualties. Furthermore, I went to Military Times, which is a news outlet for the military. There was no casualties. Navy Times reports, no casualties. But our own media news network says we lost people. Is it that much hatred for this one man who's just trying to put America's first? I get it if you don't like him for certain things, cool. But how do you sit there and just be like, I hate this dude for everything. He's doing nothing. At least give him a point that he responded. You think Trump made this decision on his own? He has advisors. They told him, "Hey, Trump, President, we got some situation going on in Iraq. Since you moved the soldiers out, there's been an escalation in violence, protests, all this other stuff. It's a lot of stuff going on. What should we do? Or what do you think we should do? Well, what do you think we should do?" So then they highlight this general who they had eyes on since 2011, 2008. They've known about him. They've allowed him to walk around, keep breathing. This time he pressed the wrong button. He pressed the wrong button. And he got what he deserved. He got what he deserved. He was killing our troops. I don't know how else to put that. And for the American people to be just, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. I looked into the history. My bad. I looked into the history of him, and he tried to orchestrate another terrorist attack in America, Washington D.C., 2011, where they tried to blow up a restaurant that one of the Iranian embassy, Iranian diplomats, I guess he was here doing something, and they was going to kill him. They was going to blow up the restaurant, but they stopped it. He was behind that. And then to come to find out that President Obama had one of his close friends in the Oval Office with him. Iran does not belong in the White House. We've known that they are a terrorist state. I don't care who's in charge. Those people are puppets. Just like we have puppets in our government. Someone else told me that previously to the money being released to Iran, that Reagan signed a deal with them to that if they did everything right or whatever, we would release their assets. My whole thing is that they don't need assets. They're a terrorist state. I don't care. You don't give them money back. What do you think that money's going to? What do you think that money is going to? Absolutely. Where do you think that money is going to? Comment said, Rich says, Super Joe needs to call the show. Where do you think that money is going to? That money didn't go back into the economy. It didn't go to the people. Like President said, that money was used to make missiles, to arm themselves, and to use against us. That's what happened. Iran is a terrorist state. And I don't believe the money should have been released. I don't believe we should have had a nuclear deal with them. We should have had no dealings with Iran. Especially since we know who they are. We know who is running the show. The CIA, the FBI, they know who is running the show over there. There is no reason to have any type of deals with Iran. Everyone, again, like I said, was worried about a global crisis. I don't see nothing coming of this. Absolutely right, Papa. I see nothing. The comment says all the money Obama sent sponsored terrorist groups and used for weapons against us. Absolutely right. That money did not go and help the people. The general was in charge of, or was overlooking, or had his hands in so many different militia terrorist groups in the Middle East. It was ridiculous. I was going to write them all down, but I was like, I'm not about to go down this list of. It was insane. But we here in America are mourning or apologizing for taking out that general. I don't get it. Is that the hatred is so deep for no reason. It's so deep for no reason. It's so deep for no reason. Absolutely, Serena. I see nothing coming of this. Like he said, he's done. The revenge is over. They just wanted to show, hey, you can't kill one of our guys and get away with it. That something has to be done. The people were crying out for it. But then again, I've seen many instances where Iranian people was like, yes, he needed to go. He had a nickname. He was a child killer or something like that. He was killing his own people. People think it's so bad here in America, but in other countries, you have no rights. You can't just speak your mind. In Iran, when they had protesters, he ordered snipers to take them out. He ordered snipers to take them out. That's according to the national Iran news. I should have wrote their full name. That is my bad. I will tweet that out. But that's from them. That's not the Washington Post. That's not Fox News. That's not MSNBC. That's not CNN. That's from their own media. He had protesters taken out with snipers. Did the same thing in Iraq. But we here in America are apologizing to the Iranian government while our loved ones are overseas protecting American interests, whatever that may be. Whatever that may be. It doesn't matter if it's oil, land, or whatever. Embassy, they're over there doing their job. It's not right that a general can kill them and we sit here and apologize for our president for retaliation. I don't get it. It made me think. Like I literally lost sleep because I everything I wanted to. Like I said, I mean, you guys know I have a wife, I have a family, and I told her last night, like I love being here with her, but it's like the inner warrior in me. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there. I would rather be there fighting alongside of them instead of watching the nonsense that I'm seeing on Fox, NBC, Good Morning America, that crappy show, The View, CNN, and then like these people are brainwashed. Brainwashed. Again, it doesn't matter if they're over there for oil or whatever. If we can't turn the clock back on that. We can't make them not interested in oil. There's nothing we can do to change the interest in oil. There's nothing. But what we can do as American people is support the troops and not apologize to another country who's been killing. I'm not saying the whole country, but who's been allowing this man to do whatever he wants to do, killing our troops. It's not okay that we apologize to them. It's not okay that we make up memes and circle the White House and say, this is America and everything else the outside of it is non-affiliated. That's stupid. That's stupid. Absolutely, Serenity. Absolutely. I'm just putting up some comments. Um, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that the more and more that I see on TV, and the more and more that that they try to divide America, the more and more I pull for Donald Trump to continue doing the right thing. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't vote. I never believed in um, voting. I didn't really care too much about voting. I felt like the government put whoever they wanted to put in office, especially when I was on deployment and I saw Obama win. Because again, I listened to everything he said. He felt like a yes man to me. Whatever was trending, he went with. That's my opinion on it. Um, so I didn't vote. And then when Hillary and Trump was running, I was definitely not going to vote for Hillary because I was in the military, and she was wrong for Benghazi and the um the personal information on the computer, the mishandling of information on the computer, on a government computer. That we get training on that all the time. We get training on that all the time. So for her to sit there and act like she didn't know or she had no idea what was what, and to allow Benghazi to happen and then play it off like, can we get over it? That's disgusting. That's disgusting. We're more concerned about animals and uh, nonsense that doesn't matter at all than about people who are protecting you or trying to do the right thing. So I didn't vote that time either. But now I'm feeling that I need to do the right thing. Because again, it's not about the Republicans, it's not about the Democrats. I feel like it's a war between good and evil. And the stuff that I'm hearing and seeing is downright evil. There was nothing positive or good coming out of these people's mouths while they was trying to downplay or make Trump feel guilty for taking out a man that has killed so many troops and was responsible for the making of the IEDs. There's nothing good about that. Yes, Benghazi. But people ignore it. People ignore it. They want the fakeness. They don't want real. Does Trump say some things that he probably shouldn't say? Maybe. Has he done some things in his past that he probably shouldn't have done? Yeah, maybe. But who are we to judge? Who are we to judge? I don't know. I'm trying to remain composed and thinking about all of this because it's it's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. But people, I just want this to be known that that man killed a lot of American soldiers. That man killed a lot of Iranian people. That man killed a lot of Iraqis. And if you sat there and said you were not affiliated with America, shame on you. If you sat there and apologized to the Iranian government for retaliation on a man that has killed so many, shame on you. I hope one day you wake up and realize how foolish that was. Because, I mean, when it comes down to it, it's not even about the president. Remember, there are families that lost their loved ones overseas. Again, it doesn't matter what they were over there for. They were brave enough. They heard the calling. They took the oath, put that uniform on, left everything they knew behind them, went to a foreign land, and gave the ultimate sacrifice. They deserve respect. They deserve respect. So, I have here a list of things I was gonna, but I didn't want to really talk about him. I have a nice little note sheet of things I wanted to point out to people who were just being ignorant to the fact that the man was a bad man, and Iran did not deserve to have their money released to them. It's foolish. Foolish, foolish, foolish. Stop letting hate and your emotions control your reactions. Like I said, I was guilty of that. When everything took place, I was emotional. And I pride myself on not being emotional. It's good to be emotional, aware of emotions. It's good to see that someone's hurting or sick or they needed some encouragement. That's good. But being emotional and responding to things is dangerous. It's not wise at all. So that in itself, I know I need to get better because, like I said, I want to lead by example, and whatever it may be, I want to lead by example. I don't want to be one of these emotional people just spouting off at the mouth and not really thinking about what's really going on. So it is January 2020. As promised, I said I was going to do a little segment where I do one of my favorite Martin Luther King speeches. But before I get into that, let me see if I got it. Run through some of these comments. Hold on, we got Rich here saying, is Army Navy a better rivalry than Alabama Army? Well, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go with. Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna have to go with the Army Navy game. I love it. It's not really. It's not an air show or anything like that, but to see that those young men are on the field playing for it all, knowing that whenever they put on their uniform and go out, that could be it. That game is a very big game. I watch it every year. It means a lot to me, especially when I hear the anthem being played. Sends chills. I don't know. I love the military. I feel like it's deeply rooted in me. I feel like there's nothing else. I'm still trying to transition from the military to civilian life right now, and it's very hard. So, military, anything military or anything military is like close and dear to the heart. So, I'm gonna have to go Army Navy. What else we got here? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's that. Like I said, I was gonna do Martin Luther King, pick a little spot from one of his speeches and recite it or read it. It's Martin Luther King's birthday is January 20th, and I feel like we have a lot of things that's going on that is not the same, but a lot of his words could be used now. Um, like I said, the America is filled with hate. There's a lot of division, and it's getting worse. It's only January. The first month of the year is only January, and we got a long time before this election comes, and I can only see it getting worse. I can only see it getting worse. So, but the speech that I'm about to, it's not the full speech. So I'm not going to be up here reading a full speech for a whole another hour or two. It's one of his, let me see. Oh, I see. I see. Well, I'm sorry to get you riled up, Papa. But yeah, I was riled up too. It was very, I lost sleep. I could not sleep. My mind was flustered. I wanted to go. I knew I couldn't go. It was something else. Thank you, Serenity. You are welcome. But it's a little at the end of his. This speech is from Martin Luther King when he was in Tennessee, a day before he died, the night before he died in Tennessee. This one has always been my favorite because I've always felt like conspiracy theorist. I've always felt like he knew his killers were in the room with him. If you go back on YouTube and watch the speech, I studied body language. So I was watching him give his speech, and he always was looking. He kept looking at a certain area in the room and his facial expressions. And I felt like he knew that that was the last time he was going to be speaking. I felt like he knew his killers were in the room or in that church with him. So this has always been very, very high up on the list of one of my favorite sermon speeches. But the last end of it has always, like, you could see it in his face. He knew it was the end. He was looking at them, letting him know he's not scared. He's ready. I'm at peace. So before we get into it, let me get a little. As you see, here's a shameful plug. I had to get the shameful plug in. The coffee mug, see through it. Did you see it? But here we go. This is Dr. Martin Luther King, his last sermon speech in Tennessee. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it doesn't matter with me now. Because I've been to the mountaintop. And I don't mind, like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountaintop. And I've overlooked. And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we, as a people, will get to the promised land. And I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. My eyes have seen the glory of the Lord, the glory of the coming of the Lord. That speech is always, or that section has really always grabbed me when I watched him give his final words to that church in Tennessee. Like I said, I've always felt like he knew his murderer or his killers or whoever, the people that wanted him dead, were there. So that is that piece for tonight. Next Wednesday, I will have another one. I'm not going to do a full one because some of his speeches were pretty long. So I hope you enjoyed that little segment. I hope you are opening your mind to the things that is going on in the world. I hope that if you don't like Trump, if you're one of the people that just somehow stopped by and watched this podcast episode, I hope you open your eyes to what I was saying. Everything's not about Trump. Everything's not about Trump. Don't allow the media to control who you like and what you don't like. Do some research. You could easily found out that this man killed a lot of American troops. Easily found that out. Again, it's not about Republican, Democrat. It's about good and evil. And there's one side that's pushing a lot of evil agenda. A lot of evil agenda. Any agenda that tells you that it's okay to apologize to another country who has killed our service members, that's evil. That is evil. So again, folks, you don't have to agree, but make sure you are seeing the whole picture. And you're not allowing CNN, Fox, and all of them to drive that car. Take those keys back. Get in the driver's seat. Make your own path. Should I do another shameful plug? No, I'm not gonna do it. You guys seen it on the first part out. I'm gonna close it out on that. Remember, don't be blinded by the media. Wait, whoa. Let me see. Someone put something up. Rich, let's see what he put. He said there's a good book called Hellhounds on the Trail. Okay. We're trying to keep the show PG. I want my kids to be able to watch something clean, Papa. But anyway, thank you for tuning in, guys. I greatly appreciate it. Remember to stay open. Keep an open mind. Don't let the hate control you. Don't be controlled by your emotions. Take time to think it through. Again, don't be blinded by the media. Hashtag see through it. This is the See Through It podcast. I'm your host, Brian Sells. I'll see you again Saturday. I will be on Saturday. I'll see you guys Saturday. Thank you and good night.